All right, YouTube, we are back once again. We have a top rank matchup in week 6. We have SJLUA facing off against the Cerbypoo Revengers, 5-0 versus 4-1. Let's get into it. Here we are. The battle has begun. We are starting with Kedere versus Mayolicant. So Shadow Wolf is representing SJLUA. Meanwhile, Sean is representing Cerbypoo Revengers. Now, it's a pretty good start for Cerbypoo. I'm not really a big fan of that name, though. I will admit, it's pretty iffy. Had to be honest. Anyways, swapping into Vermorph as the Kedere goes for Mind Drain. Not too much damage. Obviously want to see a little bit more. But Vermorph is very bulky. As Kedere swaps into Metelytra, who tanks the Antenna Beam. It was a pretty powerful Antenna Beam for being not very effective. This Metelytra will be able to do a decent amount of damage, assuming it has the trait Conductor, which makes it immune to Spark moves. And there's the hit and run, just to swap around, just to do a little bit of chip damage, knowing that this Metelytra is indeed faster than the Vermorph. We'll likely see some sort of play, whether it be a switch, whether it be maybe even testing the waters and seeing if it actually is immune to spark moves. Obviously, if you do attempt to do that, then it'll be a lost turn. Feral Fury on to the Wyvernal. Great switch, as the Wyvernal tanks it perfectly. However, Vermorph does have Jolt. No, Firebolt cannot get the KO. Jolt also fails to get the KO, and that is a good look for the Cerbypoo Revengers as they go for the priority Wyvernal. That is indeed going faster than the priority Vermorph, and that will KO the Vermorph as the Cerbypoo Revengers start off the battle 1-0. Now, one thing to note, Shadow Wolf for SJLUA, they're undefeated. They're 5-0 so far this season. Meanwhile, Cerbypoo is looking to end that streak. They are up 4 wins in a row after losing their first battle, and could even the playing field standings-wise between these two teams with a win. Now, if we go over the teams of each as Pompabore is brought in, Cerbypoo Revengers has Metelytra, as we already know. It has Skideen, Candigan, Scorporuli, Jalect, Octonut, Dracothread, Jineko, Yoris, and Hahaina. And any of those doodles could be the 3 remaining in that party. We got a wide variety of tints on that side, too. Meanwhile, SJLUA, as the Wyvernal just goes for a Firebolt, a little bit of damage, a little bit of chip, as it goes for the sack. This game is tied. But SJLUA rocking a team of Bolinguin, Pompabore, Mayolicant, Mold, Hypnodle, Arthopex, Cacmeow, Zapoera, Jestwhirl, Vermorph, of course, Henchum, and Horbeast. There is the Mind Empowerment on the Candigan, and the Weird Jelly has been activated. SJLUA took the bait. They went for the Heat Bash, and all of a sudden, this Candigan is a major threat. I still have zero idea why Candigan took so long to get picked in the draft, as it gets the KO on the Pompabore. It fully heals, and now it's Hard Candy trait. No, sorry, not Hard Candy. But the trait it has to increase its defense, the damage it takes, by 50%. It's just very bulky in that time period. Mold is brought in, hopefully to do a good amount of damage. Really needs to get the KOs here. Goes for the Pygaga, does not get the KO. Tsunami fails to land the knockout. And now SJLUA does have an opening. If they can find a spot that can deal more damage to this Candigan and also survive an attack, this Candigan can go down, but it will sacrifice the mold. Going for the Pie Gag, they risked it. Tried to go for the instant KO when they could have just gone for a Mind Drain. It's super effective on the mold. Fully healed up, or at least healed a major portion of the health lost from the tsunami, or just knocked it out entirely and stayed full health. This may be costly as the mold is faster. Wow, SJLUA really lucky there, as Cerbypoo tried to go thinking it was faster. It was not, and now this game is tied once again. Now over this mold is down for the count. It did good though. 2 misplays by Cerbypoo Revengers, and it's a lot closer than it should be. Awakened Skideen brought into play as the rain is still out, so its water attacks will do more damage. Rip Current just for the KO, just to ensure things. But a plus attack as well as the rain boost water attacks will do some really good damage here. I still cannot believe SJLUA got out of that hole. That major threat that was Candigan. Obviously, it was mind games there. Perhaps SJLUA could have gone for a support move, thinking they would go for another Pie Gag, but then just went for the attack and got the right prediction play. Meowlicant is brought in. It is pretty physically bulky and can also deal major damage. Rip Current can't do enough as Venom Lacerate gets the KO, and SJLUA is back in this. It's Kadere, it's Metelytra, and a Mystery Doodle facing off against Meowlicant and 2 Mystery Doodles. Kadere is brought in. We know how much damage it can do. It's fast, and it packs a punch. Flashbang can't get the KO. Very interesting to just go for it. Could have really gone for a more powerful move, knowing it is faster. Or perhaps it isn't faster than the Meowlicant, considering Firecracker is brought in to sack the Metelytra, but also KO the Meowlicant. Perhaps the Meowlicant was faster than the Kadere. I'll have to check the base stats. I don't think Meowlicant is that fast. But we are tied once again. It's Kadere and Bolinguin, the first pick by SJLUA. The oddball choice. Looking to make a mark on this Kadere. We have a close game here, folks, as they make the switch into Yoris. Bolinguin gets the accelerate boost. It is speeding up as Yoris is brought into play. It took the Sakura Blast pretty well, and Bolinguin goes for another protect. Yoris goes for a Feral Fury, and that should lock in Bolinguin being faster than this Yoris and can hopefully deal more damage. Goes for the Bung Strike, it goes for the Ice Taffy, and it gets the KO! Magic attack greatly boosted, and SJLUA is looking for the victory. Could they go 6-0? Kadere is brought into play. It's last chance. Protect to take away the flashbang. It ain't taking any damage. And could this be it? One last move. Does it have the coverage? Could it possibly? Sakura Blast does not get the KO, even though it was super effective. Aurora Flash does nothing. And it cannot get the confusion. This game is over. SJLUA will remain undefeated after a very close battle. Wow, that hand you can play was so costly. That could have locked in the win for Cerbypoo. But SJLUA manages to crack out a win and remain undefeated. We have 4 more rounds after this one. Could they go the full 10-0 and reach the playoffs at number 1 without a loss? We will see in 4 weeks. Alright, fellas. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.